here is Matt Walsh talking about abortion. And I love moments like this because it's immensely clarifying. Republicans, theocrats, are only able to implement their agenda when they hide the ball, when they obscure what they're actually trying to do. Hey, Brett Kavanaugh, Roe v. Wade is settled law. Just kidding, I just voted to overturn it. We're not going to go after contraception. We're not going to go after gay marriage. Just kidding. Justice Thomas in the concurrent opinion, go after those things. Go after those. Bring them to us, and I'll make sure that I got you. And they have to downplay it because it is so unpopular. Christian theocracy, no, a majority of Americans do not want that to be the law of the land. But Matt Walsh just decided to come out and say it here, talking about abortion. Hey, there's consequences if you are a person who can get pregnant and you want to have sex. If you don't want to get pregnant, hey, don't have sex. Here's him just saying it.
If you are not in a position where you feel like you're able to, you should conceive a child. If conceiving a child would be disastrous for you, you believe, then do not participate in activities that literally billions of times in the past have resulted in the conception of a child. If reproduction, maybe I'll phrase it this way, because I really want to make it very simple for these people. They have difficulty understanding complex concepts. So we've got to dumb it down as much as possible. Mm-hmm. If reproduction would be a disaster for you, you believe, then do not participate in the Reproductive Act.
The Reproductive Act.
If you're able to reproduce.
All
Hey,
right, pause it for a sec.
Hey, baby.
What is does Matt Walsh understand the concept of rape? A lot of times sex is not voluntary in sexual assaults. And I believe 1 in 4 women in this self-identified women in this country have said that they've been sexually assaulted. But at the same time, like, I'm just saying that that's an immediate hole in that argument. Even though
we know what a lot of them think about women who are raped.
Well, they deserved it. They were asking for it.
Yeah, they're asking for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So just a point though there, but like
the act of reproduction. I'm sorry. There's the other immediate hole in this is that most people don't think of sex like it's the act. Hey, lady, do you have my fair lady? Would you like to come back for an act of reproduction tonight?
Ooh, no, like, that gets me hot.
Like people need to just people have sex, bro, and condoms have been around for longer than you've been alive with your dumbass beard. Even also. Go check out early photos of Matt Walsh. It's very funny and not
maybe that's why he says that you can't that you shouldn't engage in the reproductive act.
This is a guy who's gone through droughts.
Doing that with him.
Yeah. He's like, this is a guy who's gone through the desert a couple of times and thinks everybody else. It's as easy for.
I don't think it's a coincidence that like this swaggerless dude is advocating for abstinence.
Yeah, and he doesn't, and that the concept of personal intimacy is entirely foreign to him.
I mean, this is also just an ahistorical take. For as long as we've had human records, or rather records of human life, we've had records more or less of people using types of contraception to prevent unwanted pregnancy in various cultures. So I don't know where this comes from other than Christian theocracy masquerading as some kind of like objective human truth. Yeah. But it's just, ancient Egyptians used contraception, ancient cultures all over the world use them. And
Egyptians? What continent's that on?
I mean, it depends on how much you know about the world.
No, I know, but for him, Africa doesn't count.
Absolutely. I mean, well, is it really Africa if I've heard of it?
Well, I guess it counts for him when he goes there for.
Don't you guys remember
what is a woman? Yeah.
Yeah, he went and talked to a single tribe in Africa.
Yes.
Obviously representative of every African tribe out there.
That's anthropology. Yep.
They count.
There we
they
go.
count.
Yeah.
They count because they reject any sort of gender spectrum.
Yeah, right.
That's why they count.
Matt Walsh right now going into incognito mode to log on to activereproduction.com.
activereproductionhub.com. activereproductionbros.com.
All right, let's keep going.
Would be a catastrophe. Then do not participate in the Reproductive Act. Because if you are able to reproduce, no matter what else you do, you can make it this quote unquote safest kind of sex you want, there's always still going to be a chance
Yeah, but
that you reproduce.
pause it. I mean, I don't want to get too personal here, but I'm not always as safe as I could possibly be, and do not have a kid and have had a lot of fun. So this is not true if you're a young impressionable person.
And if that chance would be like plunging off of a cliff level of catastrophe in your life, then don't participate in the act. Control yourself. Right? We're human beings. We should be able to exercise some self-control.
Yeah.
Right? We're not beasts in the jungle that are unable to control our compulsions. At least we shouldn't be.
It's
One of the
pause it for a
defining
sec.
features.
It's so crazy too. Like he's working backwards from not being able to get laid when he was young and saying that, everyone I know was just able to exercise self-control. That must have been what it is.
It was the other person doing the self-control.
Yeah, and me too. And like also what is they want, we're not animals, right? We're not primitive. Except for the fact that we're saying that we can't use any modern technology or healthcare research in order to prevent contraception when it isn't wanted, in order to allow for people to have a certain level of intimacy without being punished for it. So we've evolved past that, except for the whole Christian theocracy controlling point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand necessarily the point he's trying to make about like we're not beasts because, again, no shade, but people only having sex to reproduce and having it for no other reason would be more beast-like behavior. Although, again, animals also have sex for pleasure, depending on the species you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, but certainly, being unable to give any consideration to it or the long-term consequences of, unnecessarily reproducing is what would make us beast-like, right? I don't know. I mean, that's just, again, trying to put a scientific sheen over what is essentially just a religious argument.
Yes.
That,
I'm just impressed with the spectrum of Matts we just played on the show here. We have Matt Walsh saying, do not have any sex. And then we got Matt Leck over here going, hey, kids, raw dogging, it's all good.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say that. I just want to say you can be responsible, but in a relationship,
but not too
whatever.
responsible.
Yeah, like I'm saying,
I'm gonna take the middle thought process as a Matt.
The middle
I need
Matt.
to put myself on the spectrum
Of the Leck
Kids,
Walsh spectrum.
Have as much pleasurable sex as you'd like. Just use a condom.
and get tested. Yeah, I know. I agree with that, Matt. I just need to say that. Look, things happen.
I don't know if I've ever seen Matt blush, but I think I just did.
We also, I don't know if we have more of this video, but also, okay. And then we got a picture of Matt Walsh to look at.
Beasts in the jungle that are unable to control our compulsions. At least we shouldn't be. One of the defining features of human beings, one of the things that's supposed to set us apart from beasts, is that we are able to have a compulsion to do something, we want to do something, and yet we choose not to do it.
Like the Garden of Eden when you don't eat that. Oh, whoops.
And if it's a choice, then I don't know, why can't you just allow for certain people to make that individual choice? You want to be an abstinent dude? You want to Matt Walsh it and not get laid? Then totally, that's fine. That's good. You can make that decision. You don't get to make that decision for other people. If other people want to be beasts, you are the party of free choice, I thought. Hey, go for it. Jesus.
There's Matt Walsh exhibiting some self-control.
Oh, yes.
You see this guy on Hinge. What do you do? Newsboy cap is like the ultimate condom for yourself. Preventing you from having it.
And as a guy who did dabble in those sorts of glasses, the most impractical glasses, just dumbly thin, so you're constantly looking into your half your field of vision is you can't see. You just have to look straight ahead at everything. Very impractical. So yeah, that's so it makes it easy for self-control though.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, again, I'm not an animal expert. I'm no Dr. Doolittle, but I'm pretty sure animals make choices. That seems like a weird thing to say. Cats choose to not eat the right the wet food or dry food all the time. It looks like, or choose to play with the box instead of their toy all the time. I don't quite understand what he means by that either. That being said, I applaud his willingness to go go the extra length when it comes to celibacy and just dress the part. Whenever I have a little bit shorthand. Whenever I'm having too much sex, I just wear my Pickle Rick shirt outside to be like, ladies, like the same way snakes have like vibrant patterns. My Pickle Rick shirt like acts to ward off, various types of predators.
Oh yeah.
Right. And when you're looking to pick some ladies up, then you just throw on that nice, sleek Majority Report tee that you're wearing right now.
Nice plug.
Yeah.
You know what it is. You know what time it is.
I will say it's funny that they released that clip because, take all the content out and put that all aside. Just delivery wise, I was finding it quite hilarious how he realizes he's getting his audience a bit confused with how he's explaining what he's trying to talk about. And then he goes, let me break this down for you even simpler. And then he proceeds to get into an even more over the top way of explaining everything. And he's just throwing these words back and forth. It was very funny to me.
Yeah.
I was kind of taken by the fact I usually think of Matt Walsh and his like weird like smokers lounge all wood set, but like he was in an attic this time. I don't know, for some reason, like to really give off some kind of creep vibe. So it's, I guess I applaud him for diversifying that. But it just really goes to show that these shows, I think, are for an older population. I don't think it's really aimed at like kids who can't get laid, or it's just like older people who have long since stopped being on like the dating scene, who are just like, kids are fucking too much. Rabble, 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 rabble. All they do is have sex and weed instead of working, 9 to 5 like I did when I was 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
I agree with the majority, but I would say actually while that's the majority of the viewership, I actually think they're explicitly making this material for young Christo-fascists, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the
it's incels.
That's the demographic
It's insults.
That's the demographic they're going for. I think they're getting that demographic, but that demographic's very small and niche.